Take out the Yumi. Take it out. Karma as well. Might see the Aurelia. Oh, I already do Sona. And what is
Lux is
next?
the last shielding support for the bottom lane. Will she join them? Or is it a jungler? Sejuani, Sylas, and Jarvan are all available.
A Jace actually towards that top side. We have seen it played on both ends. Looks like they don't want FakeGod to get that Jace, however, as they start off into this. What is priority though, Kobe? What does 100 Thieves want? Aatrox is still up there. FakeGod can get something to absorb pressure, but amazing has been that priority pick, and it will be his Sejuani.
Sejuani still super high priority jungle pick, initiator for the team, brings that front line, brings the tankiness. Also works very well with melee solo laners that can help stack up the passive, land those stuns a bit quicker, and really snowball. So we'll see if FlyQuest want to answer with sort of a ranged matchup in their solo lanes to avoid a little bit of that danger. There's the Lux we were looking for at the last ban round. Gonna be picked up here for Wadid.
I like it. Goes for the Sylas, says no Trundle. You go Halo Blades anyways, but I like Sylas better. I'm gonna steal your Sejuani ult.
Yeah, super, super good. All you have to see is just one good ultimate, and it's a Sylas jungle game. Feels very good as well, playing Sylas into tank champions, because tank champions cannot burst Sylas, and Sylas, with the Kingslayer, does have a lot of burst healing himself, so it's very difficult for tank champions in general to deal with Sylas because they can't finish him off. He does so much damage, and he's able to heal himself back up, so it's definitely a good opportunity for a counter pick here. Meanwhile, Corki picked up for the mid lane, this very common scaling DPS, AP threat, Trinity Force Builder, alongside the Aatrox for FakeGod.
Ooh, yeah, both of the mid laners currently have 3 go-arounds on Corki. This will be a 4th for Ryu, so they know what it's like to play with and against. What do we have for our final pick here? Phase 1 of FlyQuest. We did see an Akali banned out against TSM. I know Bjergsen is quite big on that, but Azir did make it through that ban phase, and Azir will be locked into that pecking order.
Yep, another Azir Corki mid lane split here. The advantage depends on rune choices for each champion. Some of these mid laners have been favoring the Azir, especially if you go Comet and build some more flat AP early on. But both teams quite happy to scale a little bit later to the team fight phase with both of these mid laners. So we expect more of the action this game to then be around those side lanes. And what can they focus on here? Banning out a couple of these other marksmen. No Xayah Rakan combo will be available.
Looking at Turtle, does have the Sivir. He's got a Sona under his belt. And a few other ones as he's been pushed farther back on a Caitlyn and a Lucian game. There's his Ezreal. Still only one play on that for Turtle either way, so not too bad. Looks like the Sivir is going to be the lock-in, if anything, on the side of FlyQuest. Get a lot of movement for this team and everybody in range for the engage that you want. But that wouldn't hurt on the side of 100 Thieves as well. Bang has been trending towards the Xayah. They banned against him, and Sivir again is his next play. So both of the AD carries sharing that pool, kind of down to 3 and 4, the Sona and other champions. Out of that second phase of bans here, 100 Thieves with a final one. What do they think is most in that priority ban list for FlyQuest here?
Sivir is definitely very high priority still with the Xayah and Ezreal both banned, so could be a Sivir. Could also try and target a little bit more on the support front as, or actually Lux is already picked up, so Sivir is gonna be the choice.
Dang. No running fast this game. What do they choose? I've seen a few Kaisas. We got the Varus coming back around for a few plays as well.
I really like the Caitlyn combination with Lux. Super long range, you can trap him out of light bindings. It's a really high pressure bottom lane, so it can allow your carry jungler Sylas to try and focus elsewhere on the map as well. Looks like they're gonna lock something possibly in for Viper here. The Jax, he does have the win on Jax in summer undefeated.
Yep.
The single game victory there for FlyQuest.
See, FakeGod knows what he's gonna play up against now, so he considers what that matchup will be like. Final picks here, 400 Thieves. Safety on that bot side. Looking to get the Braum. A lot of fight ults coming in now for 100 Thieves.
Pretty strong glacial combination, 20% chance to stun on hit.
Wasn't gonna do it.
It's insane. Will they get Guardians too with the Leona pickup Riv?
Oh my word.
That would be ill-advised because they're facing a lot of magic damage, you know?
You go Gangplank mid.
All right, let's see. What's it going to be
Gangplank
here? For Bang in the bottom lane. I doubt that they're going to rotate the Corki there, so it's up to Bang. What does he want to run into the Lux lane? It's interesting that FlyQuest are also keeping the last pick here for Turtle to see. Braum Varus is definitely a very safe and strong lane. So let's see if they actually do want to complement this Lux with the Caitlyn.
I was going to say, you don't have too much AD across the map, so you can't go something like a caster. You are going to have to do the marksman. Possibly that Caitlyn lock-in. Turtle tips his hat, locks in the Caitlyn. We'll see if he can put the cuffs on 100 Thieves this game around.
There she is. Such a powerful bottom lane there with Caitlyn Lux trying to push away. They can actually even focus on the Braum, even with the shield, trying to whittle down on the Braum. It's going to be up to Bang there with the arrow on Varus, trying to deal out some counter damage whenever somebody does get caught. Let's see. Amazing has had a lot of success for 100 Thieves on the Sejuani thus far.
Absolutely.
And we talked about trying to get melee synergies. The Aatrox in top lane might be one of those choices. Everybody knows when you're going against FlyQuest, Viper is definitely one of the most scary things to worry about. So the Jax could be a point for 100 Thieves to try and attack early on. So you delay the scaling of the Jax, delay his purchase of the Trinity Force.
It's Viper as a player, he'll always get a few moments in a game where he is very good at, and that's knowing when to turn the fight. As a Rivet player or a Jax, you know right when they're going to group up, and we've seen him turn those fights. So you can always guarantee Viper's going to try to make one of those outplays. Jax is one that could do it, and I am excited to see what he does up against FakeGod in that lane as well. They're the comps in front of you, 100 Thieves. Look to pull a game ahead here. If FlyQuest wins, they tie up the score between these two rosters, but 100 Thieves still looking to make that push towards the end of the split and get themselves back into a playoff position. Last time these teams played, it was a 40-minute slugfest. Barons for both teams, an Elder Dragon in the end for 100 Thieves to take the victory. So expect a big back and forth between these two.
All right, we're going to have a little bit of a delay getting into this one as they finish up the peripheral check. We do expect FlyQuest here with a lot of possible scaling in all of their lanes, as well as their jungle pick with the Sylas. So they don't really have to rush into any of the early action.
We're going to get a quick remake. Ryu is currently Glacial Corki. Not going to work out too well. So
I wonder if Corki did get added to Teamfight Tactics, what would they use for the ability? Because a lot of the abilities are very similar, right? It's just rockets coming out. Maybe it would be one of those ones that had super low mana charge up.
Gatling would be sick.
Yeah, Gatling gun, it could like maybe shred armor or something. That'd be an interesting take. Because otherwise it'd just be like a super low mana cost rocket.
So what, you run like Yordles and Void and then you're just denying armor all the whole time? That's pretty good. I like that. That seems like a pretty good composition. Looking at this, week 4, day 2, actually our past 3 games were all played back in week 4 as well. So the second time around, the teams get a chance to go at it. It was Wadid and FakeGod coming in. So we saw since then, FakeGod kind of joining with the team. Wadid definitely having a few changes there so that we haven't been able to match up against each other. Remembering that game did go to 100 Thieves and a bit of focus towards the top side in the early part on FakeGod. They knew he was the new member. It's easy to go after the new guy and make sure he doesn't have an easy time.
Yeah, it's actually been pretty interesting tracking FakeGod, joining the LCS. Had some really big shoes to fill for 100 Thieves in the top side of the map, and he has been very funny on social media. I like it. He's really embracing a lot of the games where he's like, lose lane, win game, because he has been getting focused a lot.
Pretty spicy tweets.
Yeah, he has kind of lost quite a few of the matchups, and still the team finds success. So they have still been able to find, the advantages here with bringing him into the squad, along with Amazing and the new focus with the team, trying to get some extra motivation here.
One of the things as well, a lot of the younger players have noticed, you have Ruin, FakeGod, a few others that they will obviously get targeted, and it's kind of been good mental training. We see them not getting over tilted. They know it's a team game, and they can still kind of weather that storm and play well. And I think that's a huge attribute to have in young players, that I'm not just kind of being used up here so the rest of the team can get resources, but it's still a team game, and that you are going to be a part of those team fights. Those kind of younger players have definitely brought that to the top lane as they slotted in.
And it's not long ago that we were talking about Viper as the new player in the LCS, coming in as a top laner and at FakeGod's opponent. Now, though, with a lot of these successful Riven games, he seems like he has a lot more confidence coming in and being a big carry for the FlyQuest God, also being a key part to the identity of the team and how they want to look for wins. Meanwhile, you just saw on your screen there, one of the veterans, WildTurtle.
Yeah.
Been a consistent performer. Jao was talking about his stats yesterday, and we also had a graphic today about the all-time kill leaders.
Yeah, some of the least deaths and kill leaders. Yeah. He has definitely been around the course a few times. When I went to FlyQuest to do an interview at their house, just kind of with the squad, flashing forward has always been a turtle.
Yeah.
And it's kind of be like, oh, why doesn't he do it anymore? It's the thing. It's funny, you go into FlyQuest, and they have shirts as well that say flash forward on them. And it's
really?
Like, is this for Turtle? Is this kind of like thought about because of him? And there was always that time when we'd see him going forward in the Tristana, getting doubles, getting triples to end the game. And then it seems like, there has been a tentative play. You never want to make mistakes on the pro stage, but it is awesome to see those kind of big awe moments come out from the veteran players when they can do it again.
Yeah, I think one of those biggest awe moments was when he first came into the LCS on TSM, replacing Chaos and got a pentakill.
I remember that D-man call forever.
First game, pentakill. That is a way to get confidence.
I love it, too, because it was like he was definitely following up on a lot of the strength that game, but getting a penta in your first game is going to stick, man. It's always going to make a mark, and he was able to ride a pretty good wave after that and showing power. WildTurtle puts the shell on, and he goes hard. We've known that as a player for him for quite some time. And now he has Wadid on his bot lane, seems to be advancing that bot quite a bit here as they get into the later parts of the split.
Yeah, the team has talked a lot about Wadid's communication, especially with the team. Seems like he's a really positive force with them. Their record has definitely improved as well since he's joined the team and been with them on stage. It gives them some more focus. Luck's definitely a playmaking champion as well if you have the E-bindings hit. We've seen several games already today.
Definitely a game where he may initiate the Wadab. He could go in hard on this one and start getting good kills for himself. We are almost, and their picks are going to be the same as you see them on your screen. They are reselecting through the champions right now, so we don't have too much longer. Before we get into game, looking at these compositions, the Varus braum on the bot versus that Caitlyn Lux, can go over definitely that there has been a change in kind of 100 Thieves play the game. We've seen 26 of 41 kills pre-15 minutes, down towards the bottom side of the map for 100 Thieves, showing you that Amazing has been down there. FakeGod can absorb pressure, and they're changing the way they play things. That's 63.4% of your kills from the bottom side of the map pre-15, so really easy to see how they're doing it. Doesn't seem to be that easy for teams to stop.
And we are into the Champion Select, so everything will remain the same, by the way, when we have one of these issues. Is they're just remaking the game with the exact same picks and bans, and we'll get right back in as soon as possible. And start to track Amazing. I think he's been the one for 100 Thieves that has changed the most for this team. He's been very active, even when he's on something like Sejuani, creating a lot of plays for the team, especially in the early game, but also motivating them in the late game, even when the team is behind.
I think motivating everybody, the way he kind of comes into the team and sees everyone, says FakeGod isn't this guy who's just learning. He's actually learned quite a bit, and he's still growing. Coming respect from that and the veterans on your team gives this confidence shield to everybody. You feel much better about your play. Having someone like Amazing come on, you're right, has been huge.
Yeah, that's incredibly important, especially for rookie players, is instilling them with confidence and kind of bolstering them with that to allow them to play on stage without a lot of the normal nerves and mistakes that you might see. Looks like we got most of them locked in here.
Super close. We're almost in on this game. Ryu as well, back onto the team, feels pretty good. We've talked to 100 Thieves quite a bit, and it took them a while to kind of figure out who would play, who would not, with being able to have enough members on the team who are from NA and not. So figuring out this composition that's worked for both Academy and the LCS, it's kind of been a dance that really nobody else has ever been able to figure out, having both teams get that victory, unless you were already of winning stature.
Yeah, it really is a struggle, and hard to know too, because there's so many things that go on with League of Legends teams. It's not just every individual player judged on their own. It's so much is how they work together, the synergy, the communication between players, and how everyone sees the game. For instance, the bottom lane we just see here, Bang and Aphromoo, if you have different visions of how you want to play the bottom lane, even just a single lane, which they talked about being one of their issues early on. Yeah. Finding some sort of focus there and really finding alignment in the bottom lane alone has made big improvements.
I mean, you have to think of how vastly different Bang's play style would have been just coming into Aphromoo. Like regions are different as you watch the games alone, but try to put two on the same page and have them play together. So they have also come quite a long way here, and we'll see now getting on to the Rift for 100 Thieves versus FlyQuest. We're gonna see what these two teams have for each other. Remember I said it was a long one last time where they were trading Barons and going for that Elder 5v5. So we'll see if we get to that point or somebody grabs the early lead and swings it right to the Nexus.
All right, let's see if they go for any sort of invade here. Both Braum and Lux are strong level 1 units. Looks like it's going to be a defensive spread, though.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Good line of scrimmage. No wards to be placed just yet. Sweepers are on the junglers as per usual. Looks like a few stopwatches around the board, mostly on the side of FlyQuest, and one playmaking ability for Aphromoo there as it comes up. We'll keep an eye on those as the time comes around. Corrupting Potion to the Dorms Blade start for FakeGod against Viper on that top side. Electrocute versus Conquer. FakeGod looking to get in there and just get some early damage in and keep those combos coming.
Yeah, I like the burst damage afforded by Electrocute. Try and take full advantage of that smaller window. But we're going to have a sweeper charge here. Santorin popping it, trying to make a run into the river to make sure there wasn't any defensive scuttler ward there from 100 Thieves.
Nice, they can see two wards placed on the bot side. That's defensive, so they know they might be setting up in the brush for a quick Wadid turtle play. Actually, let's see what Turtle started. Did he start traps? No, Peacemaker. I thought so. Maybe they were going a little cheeky. As we start off the laning phase, they are going to try for some early damage, though, playing on the heavy side, Turtle and Wadid in the face of Bang and Aphromoo. Give him a little help.
Big chunk there as FakeGod, sitting in the tri-brush, is able to get multiple Qs onto Viper to start out with a nice health lead as he comes over to the lane. Meanwhile, Santorin's going to do the red into Krug's clear here. Try and get them respawning a little bit quicker. Sylas is very good at taking AoE camps, especially after some of the changes, charging up on multiple stacks of the passive.
Just get away. I will zone you off this next one minion. Everything counts, though. FakeGod's just playing a slow, methodical lane for his Viper right now. Knows he doesn't have to get Electrocute proc, but man, does that sting for the bot side. Do not want to be 200 HP right away. Heal pots feel like they do a lot early because you don't have much health, but that means you're out of sustain if you have to chug them right away. And that's the part that does not feel good. Traps already being set up in front of the turret. A little bit harder of a time to farm it out as Bang is missing a few back and forth, but he's got quite a bit to clean up here.
Yeah, we talked in Champ Select about the oppressive nature of a Caitlyn Lux lane.
Yep.
So difficult to deal with, especially early on, the pushing power with these long-range harassment abilities. And during the pause, we were reminiscing about the old times of WildTurtle and his pentakill in his first game. It was on Caitlyn. Amazing, though.
Right.
Making a pass at Pobelter.
Absolutely was. Arctic Assault to go in after the shuffle. No flash to come. They know he would have used it under the turret, but still cannot take those turret shots. So low in health so far.
And Pobelter are going to head back to base. Does have the teleports. Recalls without any summoner spell usage.
Oops. Nicely done. Still gets the cannon. I like the effort to deny it off there, and Viper should be able to farm this up quite easily, but it is 17-7, so I figure he'll miss a few here and have to get this second wave pretty well.
Yeah, one of the reasons Jax isn't picked more widely is because of the early game. It's definitely a super strong scaling pick, but gets pushed under the tower here by Aatrox, especially Electrocute Aatrox, and because FakeGod was able to get that big chunk in Tri-Brush. These are all factors heading into the matchup. So Viper pushed under turret, has to kind of pick up the scraps.
Big piercing arrows doing quite a bit of damage, but also getting hit by his own peacemakers. So the Qs of Turtle and Bang are connecting fiercely in this lane. They have not chugged both their potions just yet. Bang is on the biscuits, but he's delivering back quite a bit of damage. I love this so far from the bot lane as they really tempt each other with a bit of low health as the fights continue. Up towards the top side, Amazing is here, and it's going to be quite a bit of time before Santorin can show himself. See if they can realize that FakeGod has his passive done.
Yeah, it was looking like more of a counter gank here for Amazing, because FakeGod has control of the lane right now, so the only way that gets dangerous for him on the Aatrox is if Santorin's coming for an early gank, in which case 100 Thieves would win the 2v2.
Ooh! Like that.
Yep, Flutter Poke really landing here. Aphromoo starting to get very low. Caitlyn, Lux taking their toll, constantly pushing the wave. You get your peacemakers through the minions into the enemy champions for that harassment, plus the Lucent Singularity, giant AoE, trying to get both of those as well. You push and harass at the same time, which allows you extra openings to look for your light bindings. As we talked about, you can easily Caitlyn trap out of a light binding. Try and find a little bit more harassment with the headshot.
It actually gets so deep with Caitlyn and Lux at a turret because you're going to set traps towards the top side. You see braum on the bottom because you can't hover your own marksman. So you're either getting bound between the turret and the wall, or you have to stay with your AD, which puts you right in the middle for Lucent Singularities, light bindings, and just being crowd controlled together. It's really difficult for that Kate and Lux to be at your turret. And Turtle and Wadid are playing it well. A little bit of flip on the play here. Santorin now waits in the brush, seeing if Amazing will make a play. Viper has that minion wave advantage, and it doesn't look like FakeGod will bite on too much just yet.
Yeah, both top laners play pretty defensively when their jungler is not there. FakeGod this time does a good job recognizing the possibility that Santorin could be there for the wraparound gank. Can he get the Scuttle Crab in time? Amazing, trying to get it and get out. 82 health, it gonna cost him.
One shuffle, good flash. Oh, he gets pushed back. This looks like it's gonna be first blood. Ryu doing what he can, but he can only look on as Amazing goes down.
Yeah, it's gonna cost him, all right. That is one expensive Scuttle Crab as Amazing pays for it with his own life and his flash. Pobelter using the flash on Azir to get in there for the wall to knock him back with the Emperor's Divide.
There it is again.
So they saw Amazing on this ward right there head into the river. So they knew that he was going for the Scuttle Crab. And you can see all of FlyQuest moving down. They immediately called for it. No respect from 100 Thieves for the rotation from both of the mid and top lanes of the collapse there. And that Scuttle Crab gonna be pretty pricey. 100 Thieves want that one back, but FlyQuest very happy to get that early money onto Viper. Giant CS lead during that time because of the roam, though, that FakeGod's been able to push up. I believe it's 2 waves now that he's pushed into the top tower, and Viper's going to try and pick up some of them on the way out, but won't be able to completely even everything.
Have a bit of damage now with the long sword, so he can at least really start to get on these minions as they get hit up by the turret and that method of farming. Oh, good hit towards the bot side. Chain of Corruption going down on the Turtle. Can he get out of this one? 90 caliber net backwards. What a hit from Wadid! What a bromant to put himself in front and take the Glacial Prison. Cleanses it right away. Aftershock is his choice, so that cleanse was also chosen to keep himself up and the utility coming out. Great save there. Quite a bit used by both teams in that play, however.
Yeah, Turtle had to flash that one to get out of range, so that's 2 summoner spells blown for Amazing as he gets a fairly effective gank off with the Sejuani, level 6. Santorin, though, might punish him.
Or at least say thank you very much. I'll take that trade. Does he get the smite off? Santorin's looking in there, but it doesn't look like he wants to get too close. Blue buff does go over to Amazing. Bot lane gank looks like it's coming in, but Aphromoo goes down! Now it's a 3v3. Is Santorin still here? That changed so quickly for what 100 Thieves wants to do. WildTurtle and Wadid are walking away from the turret, giving the kills to 100 Thieves. Ryu picks up another one. Now Santorin is up the creek without a paddle, and he's forced out of this one. Dives in without a safety vest on. He is now out in a 2 for 2, and a pretty big mistake by FlyQuest.
Yeah, pretty rough there. I mean, the bottom lane had been getting poked down super heavily under the turret, and then the kill onto Aphromoo actually gives them some hope. In the end, though, 100 Thieves make good on the dive on bottom side, picking up the extra kills there for themselves. Amazing now. Trying to chase Pobelter off the tower. I don't think Pobelter will be too worried as he just has to give up on the extra minion wave at tower.
It's a good fight back and forth for it to be 2-2. I mean, anytime you got the turret is kind of a third or fourth member, I'll take that with a Lux and Light.
It was a binding landing, and then after it landed, Aphromoo queued to get tower aggro.
Yeah.
So you get hit with the binding, you're going to get a trap under you, and he takes tower aggro. That's what cost him the death. Then Turtle and Wadid trying to get out afterwards. They know that there's a full health Ryu and Amazing coming through, so they are in threat of being dove. They try and make the escape, but Amazing and Ryu chase them down on the outside. So 100 Thieves, and with a mistake of their own there with Aphromoo on the bottom side, but they still do get some kills. 2 of them onto Ryu. That's going to fund that Trinity Force for Corki.
Oh, yeah. That'll feel really nice. Looks like he's going to put that pressure already onto Pobelter in the mid lane. We did not see him get to roam in that last kind of gank. He was forced in the mid lane with everybody roaming through his jungle on the way there. Mountain Drake is going to be visioned up by FlyQuest. I don't think they're going to go for it just yet with having used quite a bit to get out of that last fight. But they'll see what the temptation is in that Mountain Drake over the next few minutes as 100 Thieves will get their vision.
Yeah, as we check back in on the much more calm top side of the map. Back to FakeGod with the early armor. Both these top laners getting their Ninja Tabi boots for themselves. Trading a bit of the farm without too much interaction. Viper still down pretty significantly in CS, both due to the early strong play from FakeGod as well as the roam down river in which they first got the kill onto Amazing.
It's like refillable potions all being bought up by FlyQuest here. Usually it's kind of a, always remember TSM doing things like this as you go across the board and your backs. So you're like, we don't want to spend money on potions all the time. It's a little thing. But we'll have refillables for ourselves. Wards being cleared out towards this Drake now as 100 Thieves gets a bit more of that vision priority on a lane where they had great strength this game.
Yeah, also stopwatches are active now. So Santorin's got one there on the Sylas, heading into the river scuttle battle. WildTurtle and Wadid are rotating over, but they're a little bit split up here. So the FlyQuest aren't going to make the move. They're going to let 100 Thieves grab the objective, lay down some wards, and back right out.
Looking at that stat we talked about just a little earlier, pre-15, 100 Thieves, that 26 out of 41 kills in that bot lane on that pre-15 mark. Here's another one coming up. All right, let's just make it 29 out of 43.
Turtle left
44.
alone. Turtle left all by himself under the tower. And once again, 100 Thieves come for the tower dive.
Crazy.
Bang, hits the ultimate. Varus ultimate, once that one lands, makes it very easy for Amazing to come in with the Sejuani, tank it up with Aftershock, and they pick off the kill. 100 Thieves focusing on that bottom side of the map.
Absolutely.
And they've been taking turret plates off of both sides here.
It feels pretty good, especially without giving FakeGod too much of that pressure. Amazing has been down there. 2 kills for Ryu as we saw before, and now 1 picked up by Bang as they start spreading out the money a little bit so they can get those core items finished. He already has the almost Ghost Blade in. Triforce there. 12 minutes for Ryu as he comes back in the lane. So that's going to be some big pressure. Just an Asher's 2 for Pobelter right now. Still great to get that pass or that attack speed in for an Azir.
Yeah, Pobelter's going with that big scaling team fight style Azir. Lethal tempo as well as the Nashor's Rush. 100 Thieves making a big move though.
Hear that Yomus go off from Bang as you get the arrow out with a bit more movement. Decide to throw it. Rotation up from Wadid here as they leave Turtle on the bot side. They know a little bit more on the map is going on. And FlyQuest has to start to participate. Ryu holding off what would be Santorin. There's a Braum Glacial Fissure on Santorin. However, if they do have a resulting fight, a pinch here coming in from Viper. No hit on the abduct coming in from Santorin, so they don't decide the fight, but they do use that Glacial Fissure.
Yeah, initially 100 Thieves sent 5 people up to the Rift Herald to start it. Then Bang heads down bottom lane as they see that FlyQuest are not going to come fight them for it. But he heads down there over a ward, so FlyQuest think that they can actually get to the Rift Herald in time to try and deny it after it's been killed. Does cost Amazing his flash, but he gets out just in time there on the Sejuani. Objective acquired.
Take FakeGod still playing in the face of Viper. He was able to gain that kill coming down into rotation, which was very nice. Viper's had a pretty tough lane, so to pick up anything extra is fantastic for him. Lane pushed in once again, only a slight CS lead here for Bang over Turtle, but Caitlyn's still going to be popping out headshots. Doesn't matter if she's 10 or 20 behind. Infinity Edge almost finished up for him. Turtle's gone to Zerker Greaves to get those headshots up even more, as you would expect from a Caitlyn. And what a follow-up from Bang! Almost from 100% to 0 for Wadid. Walks away with 200 HP.
Yeah, with all the early focus on bottom side, Bang funding the lethality build on Varus. Already up to the fully completed Ghost Blade, as well as an extra serrated Dirk. That much lethality this early in the game. He is hitting really, really heavily with those arrows landing.
Oh, Turtle's alone. This could be scary. Amazing coming around with the ultimate. As soon as he sees Sejuani, I think he will definitely leave, and he chooses to do that right quick before even getting eyes on Amazing. So turret goes down on the bot side. Mid and top still stand. We did lose plates just a minute ago, but it is a 2,000 gold lead just about for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, 100 Thieves feeling pretty strong about the early game. FlyQuest do have a lot of scaling options, though, so they have to keep up the pressure there. Little bit risky.
That's what we're waiting for. Once Viper can kind of be on his lonesome, if FakeGod is drawn to these fights, he'll have a great time with the turrets, get a little Pobelter, strength for the team fight. But it all has to happen in due time. And it looks like 100 Thieves is pushing that limit. They're not giving FlyQuest the time they need. Rift Herald drop down mid.
That's going to take a big chunk out. Wadid surviving there with his stopwatch to immune the Varus ultimate. Bang has been on point with his ults and his Qs so far, finding a lot of poke damage, forcing a lot of summer spells, and even setting up kills. This lethality Varus comes online so early. 100 Thieves have a pretty easy time grouping the attack damage poke of lethality Varus up with the AP poke of the Corki in mid lane, who's got Trinity Force and Sork Shoes. So both of these damage types with early penetration make it so hard to itemize against the long-range damage that these two carries have. 400 Thieves. Recall gets out there just in time to kind of clench on that one, but Ryu's got eyes towards the bottom.
I feel like running through like he's got peanuts and Cracker Jack. He's like, package here, got a package. Everybody's like, no, no, thank you whatsoever. Everybody leaves that situation. Ryu back to the mid lane as he goes on a solo roam. And he's good to go on that. Power and Glacial's Kobe, here it is. Aphromoo and Amazing on the roam.
All right, working together. See if they can find anyone to stun up. Looks like it will just be another objective for 100 Thieves as they send everyone topside to finish that turret. And they will be able to get another one.
Wow, FlyQuest, it's easy to say weak in scale, but watching everything go down around you makes it that much harder since no moves can be made just yet. No vision's really there to see where 100 Thieves is coming from. Just a few wards you can see off to the left on that right shoulder of FlyQuest. It's not enough to really stop the second tiers from going down. Bot lane's going to get a bit of pressure here from FakeGod, as it looks like he's able to draw more than one member of FlyQuest now, and that spells bad things as they need to protect every lane.
Bang the sniper here on the outside, looking for an angle on the turtle. Feels really confident about this Varus. With the Boots of Lucidity as well for cooldown reduction, you can just spam out this poke. Got the Comet for full effect here, and it's really taking a toll on FlyQuest. They're having a hard time defending their own territory. With all of the outer turrets dropping this early on, you can see a very big discrepancy in map control right now. 100 Thieves have full power to push up, and it's allowing a lot of extra vision for themselves. They just group up one more time. They got the Varus right there next to the Corki, and they can let fly with the skill shots.
And it's like ride the bike, it seems, for Bang. This is his first Varus of the summer split. 102, 169 ahead in CS here. And it looks like other kind of champions, when he gets his Ezreal, you're like, how is Bang not on Ezreal? But it just seems like he was getting in tune with Aphromoo, figuring out how the rest of the team worked. And now that they all work together so well, they're all behind each other on those plays. Whether Bang chains of Train of Corruption or Amazing's going in on a Glacial Prison. And you see Bang with Aphromoo side by side here as power and numbers as he continues to do well this game.
And it's kind of hard for FlyQuest because they really do have to play defensively and just take the farm that comes to them. Unless 100 Thieves actually walk very deep into FlyQuest territory, there's not a large possibility of anyone getting picked off. The hard engage for FlyQuest really has to come from either a Lux light binding just randomly hitting someone, or Santorin stealing Sejuani ultimate and trying to use that as their initiation. Both of those a little bit hard to pull off, and it might come down to who has flashes up.
Bot side's being pushed by Viper. How long can FlyQuest buy for him to just get that turret down, though? He already has FakeGod, since they know 100 Thieves can basically fight in a 4v5 long enough to retreat if they don't get enough priority members to start it off. So strong right now, just 30 seconds away from 20 minutes, which means Baron. And really, they'd be tempting the fight against FlyQuest just to get FlyQuest where they want at this point. So much control over the map, and they are waiting very patiently. It looks like now for FakeGod to bring up the bot lane.
And FlyQuest have completed step number 1 of that initiation. They stole Sejuani ult, but they get hit!
Oh no, we're going back a step, Kobe! Looks like Santorin's not going to be able to get that ult off just yet. A stare taken away from FlyQuest as they look to get to the top on that one. 4-2, not very many kills, but you can see how much pressure 100 Thieves have always had on this game. FlyQuest is retreating at almost every aspect of it.
Yeah, very good job of 100 Thieves making that pressure turn into a kill. Amazing says, you stole my ultimate up here, and you're going to get a taste of the real one right behind your own turret as well. And that allows them to just continue the pressure, push up, starve FlyQuest of gold income, and increase the lead that they have.
It becomes scary when nowhere is safe on your map. We'll see this one more time. Milling about, looking for someone to step out, but they also don't know with the sweeper what was on the other side of that wall.
And look at that timing as well. Being able to let the arrow fly right as he comes out of the stopwatch, and Aphromoo picks up the last hit.
Still has it. Good to know. Santorin can still throw out the Glacial Prison, and we'll see if he gets a chance to do that. It might just time out with how the fights are being controlled and dictated by 100 Thieves. Everything in reaction here for FlyQuest. The big initiations are Sylas. Pobelter could make a great shuffle, but pushing around this team of 100 Thieves might be difficult. They all have ways to move quickly, or their flashes are up. So if it's going to be done one way, it has to be done different the next time because your opponent's expecting it. That's what's going to be so hard for FlyQuest to claw back.
And even if we look at the side lane 1v1 for them with Santorin on the Jax, he does now complete the Trinity Force, but he had to stop off to get an Executioner's Calling because it's so important versus Aatrox to cut that healing that gets greatly increased by the ultimate activation. Now that he finally has all the parts, the Trinity Force for burst damage, the Executioner's Calling for cutting the healing, and the Tiamat for your wave push, now he can actually try and start taking those fights. You can see on the bottom side the pings were coming down, but he still feels a little bit hesitant here as 100 Thieves have control of the rest of the map, and they are pushing in on all sides.
Shoulder wards being cleared by 100 Thieves, so FlyQuest has no vision around them. And it looks like that mid turret could feel a bit of pressure here soon. Cupcake's not really deterring the team. They say, all right, they're laid mid, we'll give pressure to top. And having second tier turrets, the only thing that need to be taken down by 100 Thieves, always means that they are going to be able to walk through this jungle much faster than FlyQuest around that backside to get the positions they need. But also you got to be careful about being routed. 100 Thieves is just going to be able to walk up to this one and take it. Seems like they've had enough time dancing around.
All right. Turret number 4 for them. They've got all the outers. Taking down mid number 2 here as well allows them to continually mine all of these resources away from the FlyQuest jungle. This time around, Ryu takes the red buff away on Corki. He's even nearing level 16 already in the game. Getting to the next level of Corki rockets, level 3 rockets, is insane. When you also have to deal with the lethality-empowered Qs coming out of this Varus, it just seems like FlyQuest are going to have a very hard time dealing with all of the damage output from such a long range from 100 Thieves.
It's tough, too, because you can't... You say Santorin wants to get a Glacial Prison, but on who? It's going to be a tank line. You can't really reach Bang because you have the absolute units of amazing Sejuani and Aphromoos braum right in front of you doing 2 ultimates, hard crowd control, and they cannot get to the priority members that are doing damage on this team. 100 Thieves has really orchestrated this one fantastically to kind of leave FlyQuest without any options.
All right, next next objective then, you kind of turn your eyes towards the Baron after they've taken down this mid lane and established a bunch of ward control leading up to the Baron. 100 Thieves actually have a pretty good chance at catching somebody if they draw FlyQuest out towards them. If you make them come through the jungle path up here, there are multiple avenues to try and hit Sejuani ultimates, because there are only a couple ways that FlyQuest could come check the Baron. They come through here, they're going to over a control ward, over the back here. All of these are small corridors where Sejuani ultimate will have an easy time of hitting somebody. And we saw how quickly they can finish off that target once someone gets locked down.
That's a big hit. Bang is the one that gets hit. He flashes out, though. Remember, the summoner spells are going to be what 100 Thieves need to get away from this engaging composition of FlyQuest. If FlyQuest can rinse and repeat with enough HP, though, that's the goal. And that's going to be Santorin going down. They needed him, the flash there from Pobelter, so he can get to safety as the final spark comes back from Wadid. It does deter 100 Thieves, but FakeGod has gotten that assist trigger, and he is back up after World Ender. FlyQuest is feeling good, and look, they have retaken the vision of their own jungle, meaning 100 Thieves can't get one of those tricky and hit a shock and awe's engagements. FlyQuest was able to bite back, but how much more can they do now? They've really just weathered the storm.
All right, they took out the enemy jungler, so 100 Thieves are starting up the Baron. They know there won't be a smite steal, but FlyQuest could try and fight them in the Baron. 4 versus 5. This would have to be a big play.
No unsealed spellbook on that Lux, like you said, Kobe. Just the smite coming in for Amazing, and it is just that as they pick up Baron on the side of 100 Thieves. Now looking to pickpocket the rest of FlyQuest. Amazing coming in from the side to just thwart the escape of FlyQuest, and now they are being torn down one by one, as it's only Santorin left as he comes back off the base.
100 Thieves will collect them all. Baron buff on, and they will run straight through the mid lane. Recall for a little bit of a reset there for, actually, Ryu gonna go straight up to the top side with his teleport, so they push 2 lanes at the same time. And 100 Thieves want to take the entire base.
I think there's a full win here if they kept that Triforce proc mid, but they're not going to. They're just going to take a few more out, and they're going to delay this one just a tad bit longer. Still 20 seconds on the chance where they did hit that inhibitor, but 100 Thieves know what they're doing, and they may just stay for the long fight here. They have Sejuani already coming out of base. They got to be careful without Amazing's ultimate here, as Santorin throws down the Glacial Fisher.
Can they catch him?
They're gonna
Teleport?
be coming back in. This could be Turtle. No, Turtle's coming in from base. That's Pobelter coming in from the side. And his Emperor's Divide is up. He could get a good push back through the Tri-Brush if he meets everybody that he wants to here. FakeGod expecting to see Pobelter just on the other side, and it's not the engage they wanted for Pobelter's Emperor's Divide. So they stay alive for now, but for how much longer? Whoa, Amazing going in all by himself here. He says, can I stop anything? Can I get some backs? As my team goes to get their refresh.
Yeah, there's nothing he can get done by himself. It's just a
lone
Sejuani rider there. Take down some control wards.
Here it is again.
Team reset. All right, Baron gets burned down. Good job by 100 Thieves focusing here. And then you can see they've turned on Viper so quickly. FakeGod goes in, gets the Q1 knockup, Q2 knockup, and even though the stun on braum, he flashes for the Q3 knockup. So that was every single sweet spot for FakeGod landing onto Viper. After the end, Amazing wraps around with the Sejuani to find the chase on every other member of FlyQuest. 100 Thieves now with the game in hand.
Absolutely, and the scores look great across the board, and the way that they did it, Amazing and Aphromoo, the only ones with deaths on the team. The front liners that should be sacrificing their lives, if it comes to that, to keep your carries rolling and keep the bounties out of the hands of your enemy, which is huge right now. You're looking at 1,400 gold that could be picked up across those 3 members, and that is insane. Currently, a 3,600 Baron power play, which is also insane. Our last 3 games have seen a 6K hit from power plays, so teams are really getting in the role of using that objective well.
All right, last inhibitor turret gonna fall here, and the inhibitor shortly after as FakeGod and Ryu burn through it. FlyQuest time ticking away.
Last inhibitor goes down as FakeGod gets the last few swings. The minions now coming in behind him, bringing up that cavalry, and Nexus turret will fall. Sejuani ultimate in the hands of Santorin on his Sylas to see what is the priority target. Bang's already in the back line. Amazing's gonna get that one. Mr. President, get down, he says, as he takes the ult back for himself. The Nexus is falling, a 10-2 kill score as 100 Thieves takes the victory over FlyQuest.